The dark of the wagon was suddenly interrupted by a pillar of light as the curtains at the head of the wagon were slowly drawn open. "I thought I heard you were awake," the blue-skinned woman exclaimed with a smile. Rokel's cheeks were dotted with salt marks she must have applied in the minimal light of the morning, her opalescent hair shimmering in the pale light through the bun that it was kept in. "We were just arriving in the town. I didn't want to wake you, but I do have to get things ready to open," she continued, crawling through the opening feet first while Endry shifted out of her way in the cramped space she and her partner called their home. The walking area of the cabin was just big enough for two to lay down comfortably. 3 people if the trio were close. Either way, it felt too cramped for Endry. Not that he couldn't move or even do so comfortably. He just couldn't effectively with his weapon of choice in any meaningful fashion in this tight space, and was forced to be especially conscientious of both its point, even if its Damascus tip was covered with a sheath made of leather and twine. The spear's pine shaft was nearly impossible to keep track of in a space so tight, crammed full with brittle glass and delicate paper. Endry gave a small nod and smile while he maneuvered around his host as she pulled open the drawers built into the wall in a manner that instantly explained she had done this routine 1,000 times in the past. She would have had to, if she can so clearly navigate whatever puzzle of a system they had set up for themselves in the nearly non-existent light of their cabin, complimenting the man she and her husband had hired as he worked his way past her. Playfully bumping Endry with her hip without distracting the rhythm, her hands moved in as she continued to prepare for the market in which they would be stopping for the day. "We really didn't think you'd wake before we'd made it into town," she smirked. "If you still need to rest, we can find you a hostel or an open bed at the inn, I'm sure." "Thank you kindly," Endry replied as he began to exit into the light, his throat still dry from the night, but "I'll manage. It's a fine morning anyway from the way it looks."